Call Sheila Maravich in the BK Office of Advancement at 398-7545.
At Dome Headwear, we believe that every hat has a story. Dome Headwear's mission is to bring you the best custom headwear experience, product, and service. You can come into our showroom in Jax Beach and design your company's custom hats, or you can build your own at domehats.com. We also have hats available for sale at domehats.com so you can represent your favorite team and your local community. Dome Headwear is a proud sponsor of Bishop City football. Do better at domehats.com.
The Friday night lights have been shining all over the First Coast. This is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now it's time to break it all down. Here are your hosts, Hacker and Andrew Gibson.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights postgame. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. With Andrew Gibson, the Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us as you have just listened to Bishop Kenny get their second win in 4 days. They beat Menendez on Monday night. They come back here this evening and get a big win over First Coast. As I welcome in Andrew Gibson, Gibby, Bishop Kenny, one of the first finals of the night. We'll get to the scoreboard and how it looks right now. But what a week for Bishop Kenny. Menendez on Monday, First Coast tonight, 2-0, maybe playing their best football of the year.
Yeah, they certainly look like it. They had to come up off the mat just a little bit a few weeks ago after losing a string of games in a row. But, Hack, they're playing their best football right now at the right time. When you get into middle to late October, this is when you want to be kind of peaking. You're playing your best football, getting close to that playoff time. Here in just a short bit before we know it, the playoffs will be here. And to get a big win tonight on the road at First Coast was big for them. And you just heard Coach Krause. He's like, we really, in this couple wins we've had in a row, have not played our best and haven't put it all together. But so maybe their best football isn't yet here, but maybe they'll get it here as we get closer to the end of the regular season.
The game on 10:10 a.m. right now, Bolles and Riverside at last check into the third quarter. Bolles 31-13. over Riverside. That's a really good Riverside team. If that score holds up, and right now Bolles up by 18, 31-13, that would be a very, very nice win for the Bolles Bulldogs.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Bolles is not playing at full strength either. They've got a lot of guys that are injured. They've also, remember, they played 3 games in how many days was that? It's a very
3 games in 8 days earlier this year.
Yeah, especially on a team where you're being tested as far as depth goes with injuries. So, yeah, that would be a significant win tonight for Bolles on the road at Riverside.
Games that are probably nearing a conclusion if they haven't officially gone final yet. Bradford 43-7 over Leon. I was interested to see how Bradford was going to respond. They had a tough district loss last week to Newberry, which I believe lost them the district. So Bradford will not be a district champion, which is odd because they're one of, if not the best teams in Northeast Florida. They come back tonight, play Leon. They're up 43-7. Obviously, they got that loss out of their system. A really nice win after a tough game last week for Bradford.
Yeah, you think about that, losing the district on just one game, and that's what happens sometimes. These key district games as we get to this part of the year are just so critical, and to lose that game, they lost 21-7 last week against Newberry. And so it looks like they're responding pretty well tonight.
Fleming Island, last score we had 51-12 over Parker. That'll be a victory for the Golden Eagles if it isn't already. Fleming Island playing good football. Late in the third quarter, actually this is probably in the fourth quarter now, the Nice Panthers just continue to play really good, man. Head coach Colin Drafts and Nice, they win on Friday nights. It's what they do, and they're going to do it again tonight. They're up 30-6 over Atlantic Coast now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Nice, their football program getting a little bit of love this week on 1010XL. I heard a couple of their guys were in the studio this week on Tuesday with Hicken and Prosser, and so that's always cool to see those guys come in here and get some exposure. And look, they deserve it, man. The Nice Panthers are playing great football coming into tonight at 5-0, and look, they've laid claim to being, if not the best, one of the best teams in the area with terrific wins this year, like the one against St. Augustine back on the 20th of September. They beat Creekside and Ponte Vedra to start the year. So Nice is continuing to be a terrific football team this year.
The Beachside Barracudas are up 28-6 over Middleburg late in the third quarter. Beachside very quietly having a really good year, only their third year of existence. Likewise, in their third year, Tocoi Creek, kind of a surprise here, Gibby. Menendez, after a tough loss to Bishop Kenny Monday night, Menendez up 32-16 on Tocoi Creek. That surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Menendez, they lost to Bishop Kenny last week in a very close game, if you remember. Earlier this week, actually, kind of the days are running together because of these hurricanes. But earlier this week, they played, what was that, Monday, and Bishop Kenny got a very close victory, so Menendez being able to bounce back. But going back to your point about Beachside, I mean, think about these newer programs that have popped up in St. Johns County. There's so much talent for them to pull from when you talk about that area of the Jacksonville area. And Beachside is certainly benefiting from that, 5-2 at this point, and trying to get another victory tonight.
One of the games of the night, and it's kind of living up to the billing. Late in the third quarter out in St. Johns County, we got Rains 22, Creekside 14. You knew that was going to be a battle. Rains, a terrific football team. Creekside is playing a lot better than they were at the beginning of the year. Again, about a quarter to go, but right now Rains up 22-14.
Well, we knew that game was going to be terrific, and it's turned out to be that way. And, think about what the Rains defense has been able to do, limiting Creekside to what they have so far tonight. Remember, Creekside has scored like 40-plus points per game. I want to say like 5 games in a row. I'm about to look this up right now just to be sure about that. But let's see. Creekside has scored 4 games in a row. They've scored 40-plus points. So credit to the Rains defense tonight. They're trying to hold down a high-powered offense.
Big-time rivalry in St. Johns County between St. Augustine and Bartram Trail. Remember, this was the series that forever Bartram just could not beat St. Augustine. It was something ridiculous, like 20 games in a row that St. Augustine had won. Bartram then put their own little streak together. It's kind of balanced out in recent years. St. Augustine looks like they're going to get it this year. Going to the fourth quarter, we have St. Augustine 34, Bartram Trail 14.
So I'm watching right now 41-14.
41-14.
Yeah, into the third quarter, St. Augustine over Bartram, 41-14. And, yeah, look, St. Augustine, we knew going into this year that St. Augustine, look, they went to the state title game last year, St. Augustine. And so we knew that with the talent they had coming back, certainly their quarterback returning, that they were going to be a team to look out for. It's been kind of a tough year for the Bartram Trail Bears. They're kind of 500 right now if you look at their record, and then tonight's going to be an unfortunate loss for them. And then they play at home next week against Buchholz, which Buchholz is a really good team. So kind of a tough year for the Bears.
Yeah, it is tough, and they're not used to this at Bartram Trail. They'll bounce back, but certainly it's not been the year that they wanted. Baker County, looks like they're going to get a win tonight over Satellite down south, 37-7. Baker leads that ball game. Baker County's a team coming off a big district win last week over Live Oak Swanee. So Kevin Mays and the Baker County Wildcats doing some really good things as we get close to the postseason. Also, Christ Church is going to be a winner tonight over Eagles View. Last score there, 49-6. Christ Church over Eagles View. That game is late in the third quarter. Again, most games have not gone final yet. A couple of other scores rolling in. These are fourth quarter games. Oakleaf 28-7 over Ed White. I'm not surprised Oakleaf is winning that game, but 28-7 over Ed White. That's a nice performance by Oakleaf tonight.
Yeah, it is. And you look at what Oakleaf and what they've been able to do. They've had some tough games this year. Now, they have a good winning record, but 5-2's pretty good when you look at it. But, games like Hawthorne, and remember the Bowls game a few weeks ago. This was back in September now. 57-50. Remember that game? They lost that one, scoring 50 points. And so that being one of the tough games that I mentioned, that they could easily be 6-1 coming into tonight. So, it's a good job for them. I mean, Ed White's a good team. Ed White coming into tonight 5-2. So that would be a very significant, a good victory tonight for Oakleaf should they hold on.
Another score that's trickled in. The Clay Blue Devils lead Fernandina Beach 33-7. That game in the fourth quarter, so it looks like the Blue Devils will get in the win column tonight. Again, 33-7 Clay over Fernandina Beach. Once a lot of these games go final, we will bring you Victoria's head coaches. Ponte Vedra, another score rolling in. They're up big on Orange Park as Ponte Vedra continues to play really good football. Head coach Steve Price, we'll catch up with him after that game goes final. Ponte Vedra 21-0 over Orange Park right now.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra just continuing to be a really good football team under Steve Price. Brian Case, their running back, one of the top leaders on that team. been a tough year for Orange Park coming into tonight, 2-5 on the year. They did get a recent win, but it's been a tough struggle for them. But Ponte Vedra continuing to roll. Mandarin
and Fletcher tonight, and we have late in the fourth quarter, we have Mandarin up by a touchdown. Again, hopefully that's right. Again, sometimes these scoreboards, but I got it on two different scoreboards. Mandarin up by a touchdown. Mandarin looking to get in the win column. Fletcher looking to get back into the win column. It's a big game for both teams. Right now, Mandarin up by a score.
Before I forget, I did want to mention a Mandarin alum. The Jaguars are going to face one on Sunday in Demario Douglas. He was a former wide receiver at Mandarin. He's now with the New England Patriots, and Jaguars will get all they want of him on Sunday because the Patriots are certainly lacking some options at wide receiver.
A cool story about that. Not only Demario Douglas, Terrell Jennings is on the Patriots too.
That's right.
Two former Mandarin guys who won state titles with Carson Beck. What are the odds of that? The two teammates at Mandarin are now on the same team in the National Football League. Jennings was on the practice squad. He got called up when Ramondre Stevenson didn't dress, and he actually carried the ball a few times last week. We'll see if he gets the call again this week. But, yeah, Demario Douglas and Terrell Jennings of that Mandarin State Championship team, both members of the New England Patriots right now.
And Demario Douglas had a touchdown last week. In fact, the Mandarin alum against the Texans last week, 6 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. That's a Jacksonville guy who went to Mandarin, playing in the National Football League. Pretty cool.
It is a final, the second final of the night. We know Bishop Kenny 31-6 over First Coast. The Bradford County Tornadoes officially a final 43-7
Go Big Red.
over Leon. I know Casey's excited about that. So Bradford gets back in the win column again. A tough district loss last week. We'll have Jamie Rogers up here, but he's got to be very happy with a 43-7 final tonight over the Leon Lions.
Yeah, you have to be. And, he was all sorts of fired up, you have to imagine, after the loss against Newberry. And, he's firing the guys up and getting them back on the horse. And there looks like they're going to come through victorious here tonight.
Palatka up 21-0 on Crescent City. That score just rolls in as well. So we got a lot to update you on. A lot of these games are getting midway through the fourth quarter. Some are winding down in the fourth quarter. Again, the two finals of the night so far, the Bradford County Tornadoes are winners tonight over Leon. And a game you heard right here on 92.5 FM, Bishop Kenny was a 31-6 winner tonight over First Coast. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning with Andrew Gibson and Casey Dobson. The hacker Ryan Green with you. We'll start lining up Victoria's head coaches in a moment. I will update you as well. Florida State and Duke are playing tonight. I absolutely hate, I'm using the word hate here, Gibby.
Yeah.
College football on a Friday night, but it is Florida State. Duke up 17-13. Brock Glenn was benched earlier tonight. Luke Kromenhoek is in the game for Florida State. Florida State had 3 turnovers on 3 consecutive plays on offense. That's tough to do. Interception, fumble, interception. Brock Glenn was pulled. The true freshman Kromenhoek's in. We'll keep you updated. But Duke right now driving in Florida State territory. They lead the Noles 17-13 early in the third quarter. Again, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, Friday Night Lights, Victoria's head coaches to come here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Stretch game day as far as you can with an extra quarter of Teal Talk. Join Hacker Leon and Coach Campo for the Window World of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day. Brought to you by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
This right here is as good as it gets. This is life getting lived without obligations or complications. This is filling your cup and savoring the moment. This is the gift of presence, served to you in a place where there's room for everyone and enough to go around. And the best part, it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed is taking action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit, lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. That means this is the best chance in 2 years to do a cash-out refi and unlock all that equity at an amazing rate. Loan Pronto has fixed loans under 5% APR, the lowest in 2 years. You can get a fast refi and get $50,000 to $75,000, even $100,000 in cash. Use it to pay off all your credit cards, personal loans, car loans. You'll end up with one payment each month. And for most homeowners, they save over $850 every month. If you want to keep your original mortgage intact, ask about the Loan Pronto Express Equity Line of Credit. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. So call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. You know, it's interesting when I see people who I haven't seen in a while, their just mouth hits the floor. Hacker, I hear about Awaken 180, but seeing you, I just can't believe it. Well, believe it. I've lost 105 pounds, and it's all thanks to the best weight loss program I've ever been on, which is Awaken 180 weight loss. Whether you need to lose 100 pounds like I had to, or maybe you need to lose 20 pounds, any point in between, Awaken 180 has a program they can design for you. They're life-changing. They're life-saving. And I don't say that lightly. I think they literally saved my life. I went from 317 pounds in February to 212 pounds here in the month of October. 105 pounds down. Thank you to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If you need to start your weight loss journey, trust me when I tell you, go to awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com. If I can do it, you can do it with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body for as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
If your favorite colors are orange and green, stay close to South Beach this season.
Your source for weekly Canes news and nuggets on 1010XL is the Hurricane Report.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL. Now, the collision of the week. Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
A lot of big games in the area, no question about that. But one of the best rivalries in the area continues to be St. Augustine Bartram Trail, another team in St. Johns County that's doing a really good job. That's not going to get overshadowed by those two schools. Is the Nice Panthers, as they are looking really good in a win over Atlantic Coast tonight. And I'll tell you, Gibby, at 5-0, going on to 6-0, Nice right now, very, very solid, and they are your San Jose Collision of the week.
San Jose Collision, find them over in Mandarin. You can check them out. Taylor and Rodney will take care of you, whatever auto body needs that you have. If you've banged up your car, whatever way you've done it, they fixed up 2 of my cars. I got into a fender bender once time on Beach Boulevard, and I was like, man, I got to get this fixed somewhere. Brought it over to San Jose Collision. They were fantastic. I was actually really shocked at how great the work was in terms of looked brand new when they got it done. So they will not steer you wrong. San Jose Collision over in Mandarin. Check them out. Certainly do that. If you banged up your car this weekend, go check them out. Take it on Monday to San Jose Collision in Mandarin. And our game tonight, man, give credit to the Nice Panthers. They're going to get a big victory tonight against Atlantic Coast. The final number I saw was 44-6. Hack, if you've got anything updated, let me know. But Nice is a team. Think about this, Hack. Nice has not played this month until tonight. It's the 18th day of the month, and Nice had a bye week, and then they also had their game moved. Remember, because of the hurricane with Bartram tonight. This was a game that was supposed to be played with Bartram a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of that extra week. They moved that game to November 7th. The FHSAA moved everything back a week, so Nice took advantage of that.
That's right. And so they haven't played. And, for a team that had won coming into tonight 5 games in a row, they are just continuing to play great football. Keep in mind also the last 2 games they played went to overtime. They beat St. Augustine and Buchholz back-to-back, 2 games in overtime, and then playing tonight and putting up 40-plus points. But it's a hat tip to the Nice Panthers and what they're doing this year. They're continuing to roll, and that's the San Jose Collision of the week. Nice beating Atlantic Coast.
Yeah, you look at Nice, wins over Ponte Vedra, Creekside, Fletcher, overtime win over St. Augustine, overtime win over Gainesville Buchholz, and now beating Atlantic Coast tonight. They still have Tacoy Creek, Beachside, and Bartram Trail on their schedule. Nice is a team, when you talk about the best teams in the area, I still say Bradford County, but arguably Nice is probably 1-1A with Bradford County, right? I mean, they're right there, and that would be one heck of a battle if Nice and Bradford County got together, and which kind of, Mandarin is still a very good team. They've just been hurt by injuries this year, plus Bradford beat them, so you have to put Bradford over them. But Nice, perfect right now on the year. By the way, another game has gone final. Oakleaf is a winner tonight over Ed White, 28-14. That's a nice win. For Oakleaf. That's a nice win for head coach Christopher Foy, and Oakleaf will hopefully get him on here in just a couple of moments. Good win for the Knights tonight over Ed White.
Yeah, I feel like an outstanding win. I think they're now 6-2 on the year to put thetheir record there, and Ed White was 5-2 coming into tonight. But, going back, that's a great win for them. But going back to the best teams in the area, I would include Raines up there too. Raines is still undefeated, and it looks like they're in a close game tonight against Creekside, but if Raines gets to 7-0, you got to give them certainly some credit among the best teams in the area.
So the winners tonight so far, Bishop Kenny is a final, 31-6 over First Coast. The Bradford County Tornadoes are a final, 43-7 over Leon. Oakleaf is a final, 28-14 over Ed White. Other scores that are rolling in, a couple of games that are coming down to the wire. Quite frankly, there are a couple of blowouts tonight. We have Raines, you mentioned them, 22-15 right now over Creekside in the fourth quarter. The Bowles Bulldogs are getting close to finishing off Riverside. We have 31-13 Bowles over Riverside. St. Augustine, 48-21 over Bartram Trail. Beachside, 36-18 over Middleburg. Menendez, 32-16 over Tocoi Creek. You mentioned Nice, 44-6 over Atlantic Coast. Also, Ponte Vedra up big on Orange Park. Christchurch up big on Eagles View. And Jackson is going to win tonight. I believe they're going to take care of Inglewood. So when you look at the scoreboard, not a lot of nail-biters. I guess we're going to keep an eye on that Rains-Creekside matchup. Creekside has played in a bunch of nail-biters this year. It's what they do.
Yeah.
They actually did it on Monday night in a win over Atlantic Coast. They play in a lot of close games. We'll see if they can beat Rains. That would be somewhat of an upset. But a lot of dominating performances tonight when you look at what St. Augustine's doing to Bartram, when you look at what Ponte Vedra is doing to Orange Park, Nice to Atlantic Coast. Really good performances, particularly by the teams from St. Johns County.
Yeah, and you think about how some of these teams are going to respond because we have had so much just interruption this year with the high school football season with 2 hurricanes back-to-back, really scattering the schedules across. We've had teams play on Monday. We've had teams play Tuesday. I mean, we remember that year, I guess it was COVID, whenever the NFL played a game like every single day of the week. It feels like...
You had Wednesday night NFL football.
Yeah, it feels like this year for high school football, they've dealt with so much interruption with their season because of these hurricanes that have come through the last couple of weeks. And it's nice to see these teams respond and really take on some adversity because, sometimes when your schedule's interrupted like that, you don't know when you're playing, where you're playing, what's going to happen, how many games are we playing this week, Coach? Oh, well, at Bowles, we played 3 games in 9 days or whatever that was. So credit to the kids, credit to the coaches for taking on this adversity and coming through it.
You played high school football. I played high school football. That's tough to play on Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
And then turn right back around on Friday night. Now, a couple of teams are going to go 2-0. Like Bishop Kenny won a game on Monday and won a game again tonight, 2-0 in 4 days. That's outstanding. Some teams are going to go 0-2 in this 4-day stretch, and that's going to be awfully, awfully tough to recover from.
Yeah, I'm a big baseball guy. It's like losing a doubleheader. Getting swept and losing 2 games very quickly can really put a damper on your season, especially as we're middle of the season, getting close to the end of the regular season. So. Yeah, when the schedules are tight like this, I mean, you'd like to have a split if you play 2 games in a week. I mean, if you can get a split, obviously if you can get a sweep, that'd be the best outcome. But some of these teams are just trying to get 1 of 2 this week.
Again, other scores that are rolling in. It's interesting. Flagler Palm Coast over Yulee, 35-24. We mentioned Fleming Island, 51-12 over the Parker Braves. We still have 22-15 Rains over Creekside right now. Palatka, 21-0 over Crescent City. Christchurch, Little Hack School, coming up big tonight over Eagles View.
There you
we'll
go.
have Justin Sermon, the head coach of Christchurch, on once that game goes final. They were up 49-6 at last count. Christchurch is interesting, too. They were undefeated before they played Providence last week on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Providence beat them. We talk about playing up in competition, but I think Christchurch found out a little bit about themselves last week. Providence won the game 35-7. Although it was only 14-0 at halftime. It was a pretty competitive game, at least in the first half. That's a Christchurch team that's doing very well for themselves, and their program's really on the rise over there. So I'm happy to see what they have going on over at CCA. And a good win tonight for the Clay Blue Devils. Let's give it up for Clay County. Fleming Island's winning big.
Yeah.
Oakleaf's already in the winners column. The Clay Blue Devils are winning big. We spend so much time talking about Duval County, obviously, and St. Johns County. A little love to Clay County tonight for some good performances, particularly by Oakleaf, Fleming, and the Clay High Blue Devils.
Yeah, and, unfortunately for Clay, we haven't had a chance to speak to Coach Kennard this year, and so looking very much forward to having him on hopefully later tonight. And give him credit, man. I mean, shout out to Clay. The county's done really well on the scoreboard tonight. As you mentioned, Fleming Island putting up 51 in their victory tonight, so... And then, of course, Oakleaf, 28-14. A very good win against Ed White. Both teams had come in at 5-2. And so Oakleaf, Coach Foy, and the Knights are now 6-2.
Bishop Kenny, 31-6 over First Coast. Bradford, 43-7 over Leon. Oakleaf, 28-14 over Ed White. Those are your finals as it stands right now. Again, as these scores begin coming in, going final, we will certainly update you. We'll line up some victorious head coaches as well. Bowles is going to be a winner tonight over Riverside. I'll tell you this about Bowles. They've had a lot of injuries over there, and they're not making excuses. But I think both the teams that we air every week, Bowles on 1010 AM and Bishop Kenny on 92.5 FM, you could argue, Gibby, are playing their best football of the year as we get into late October, early November, which is a high school football program. That's when you want to play your best football heading into the part of November when the playoffs begin.
Well, it always seems like the Bowles Bulldogs just seemingly play their best football this time of year. And as you mentioned, some of the key injuries, Naeem Burrows is banged up. I think it's a shoulder for him. And, I think Chase Collier, another great wide receiver who's committed to Baylor, is also banged up, I believe. And so, yeah, they're hurting a little bit. It's that time of year in high school and really every level of football. You're going to be banged up at some point during the year. And Bowles has been able to come through, and it really speaks to the depth that they have and the coaching, really. I mean, the guys that have to step in are ready. And to step up, and they're doing that at Bowles.
It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We'll talk to the good doctor, Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist later on in the broadcast. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning with Andrew Gibson. The hacker Ryan Green with you, updating you on a little college ball tonight. Duke has added a field goal, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Duke leads Florida State 20-13. Again, we'll keep you updated. It is worth noting Florida State has never lost to Duke.
Isn't that amazing?
As in, ever in the history of the planet. They've played 22 times. Florida State has won 22 times. Right now, Duke is up a touchdown with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. We will certainly let you know what transpires. Victoria's head coaches, more analysis. We're with you to 11 o'clock right here under the Friday Night Lights, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
What are the many ways to experience 1010XL?
Why don't we just take it from the top?
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at 1010XL.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations, Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see, hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Thousands of people in Duval County suffer from Alzheimer's. To join the Walk to End Alzheimer's at UNF, November 9th, visit alz.org/Jacksonville Walk.
You can make a difference in the lives of people living with lung cancer. To join the American Lung Association at the Lung Force Walk at UNF November 16th, log on to lungforce.org/Jacksonville.
The Farm Share Thanksgiving Distribution Drive-Thru event is Saturday, November 23rd at the FSCJ downtown campus, starting at 8:30 a.m. until the food runs out. Call 328-6158.
There's a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating to a local blood donation center.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund helps families battling childhood cancer, and there are ways you can help. Go to tcjfund.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
57% of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida alumni say the club saved their lives. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida support over 5,000 local youths each day. Help support this work and have some fun at the same time. Join us at the Beaches Barbecue Bash, Monday, October 28th at ABBQ Atlantic Beach for barbecue, great beverages, live music, and an auction to positively impact our youth each day. Learn more at bgcnf.org/events.
Find your why with membership at the First Coast YMCA. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Come try free access to your local Y every Wellness Wednesday this month. Check out our fitness classes, swimming, pickleball, youth sports, and so much more for free every Wednesday in October. Plus, we'll waive the join fee when you become a member this month. Get active, be social, live healthier, and discover all the benefits of YMCA membership at your local Y or visit fcymca.org.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnit Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Friday Night Lights shine bright. Friday Night Lights. Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. And brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
I know football.
Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Coaches Corner on 1010XL.
All right, we'll start winding up Victoria's head coaches. More of these games are going final. They're celebrating on Main Street tonight. Jackson, a victory over Inglewood. Bobby Ramsey is the head coach of Jackson. He joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, Coach, thank you. Nice win for you guys tonight over Inglewood. How did it go down for your team?
Well, you know, we scored in all three areas: offense, defense, special teams, and you know, I think that's kind of our MO right now. You know, we have some talented athletes who, you know, if the ball gets in their hands in any of those areas, you know, can make big plays, and you know, that's kind of how we were able to open things up towards the end of the half. We had a pick six, we had a fake punt for a touchdown. You know, our defense played really well, forced some turnovers. And then also as the game went on, our offensive execution got better. And, you know, we had a couple sustained drives, which was nice to see.
Bobby, great to talk to you as always. Hey, tell us about Anthony Jones. I mean, here's a guy that's playing both ways for you. Got a couple receiving touchdowns, a couple sacks to lead this team. Tell us about what Anthony's doing for you.
You know, he's just an extremely versatile player. He loves football. He plays extremely hard. And he's just got a real – you know, as the season's gone on, we've just kind of found more and more things that he can do. You know, early in the season, he was pretty much strictly just a receiver. And then, you know, our defense coordinator, Raymond Howard, tried him at kind of a rush package, which kind of morphed into him playing kind of an edge position for us. And, you know, him really just being hard to handle off the edges. You know, he's a guy that, you know, I think is you know, realizing how fast and explosive he can be. And, you know, he's just a really, really good football player who affects the game in a lot of different areas, and you know, just has a really broad skill set. And you know, he's playing better and better in each week. But he's definitely you know, our leader.
Couple more for Bobby Ramsey of Jackson. This isn't your first rodeo. Year one at a new place, from Yulee to Mandarin to Impact and now to Jackson. I believe this puts you at 4-4 in year number one there on Main Street. How would you assess the first 8 games of your tenure there? Are you about where you thought you guys would be?
You know, in certain areas, yes. I think there's been a lot of growth the last couple weeks. You know, I think I think you kind of look back on things and try to assess, you know, that when the season's over. But I think, you know, the day-to-day has improved throughout the year. And really in the last, I think, probably 2-3 weeks, you know, there's been a lot of growth. You know, I thought we played really tough and physical against Bowles. And that was encouraging to see. And, you know, we challenged them to play their best game tonight, our guys, and they did that. So I think it's turning. I think the attitude and the positivity is growing, and hopefully that continues.
Coach, you got a key district game coming up next Friday against Baldwin. That one looks like it'll be at home. Tell us about that matchup.
Yeah, I mean they're a really good team. They've got some excellent offensive skill players. They've been doing well for the last several years. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge. I said we played our best game tonight, and we said it right after the game. I said you're definitely going to have to play your best game of the year next week against that group. And I said going into this week, I said you put yourself in a position to be playing meaningful football late in the year. And at the end of the day, I think that's really all you can ask. And from where we came from, where we started to where we are now, to be able to say that, to give ourselves an opportunity to do something at the end of the year is fun. But they're a very good team and very talented. And, again, they've got some really good skill players and, some guys on defense that stand out as well. So it's going to be a challenge.
Bobby Ramsey, the head coach of Jackson. They are winners tonight over Inglewood. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you having me on. And like I always say, thank you for everything you do for high school sports in our area.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Christopher Foy of Oakleaf, let's get him on in just a moment. Casey, he's ready to go. So if you want to give Oakleaf a call, we'll get Christopher Foy on. They were winners tonight over Ed White. Other finals that have rolled in, that is a final. No real trepidation about these games, but the finals have officially occurred. St. Augustine did hold on to beat Bartram 48-21. Nice did beat Atlantic Coast 44-12. Menendez did beat Decoy Creek 32-16. That's a nice win for Menendez. They had kind of a gut-wrenching loss on Monday night, and to come back and beat Decoy Creek 4 days later, that says a lot about that program.
Yeah, it does. Menendez, like you said, was in a really back-and-forth game, as you mentioned, going into that one. And I'm pretty sure, I looked this up earlier, that we mentioned DeMario Douglas before, the Mandarin alum who's now playing for the Patriots. I believe DeMario Douglas started his career at Menendez. So I want to give them a little credit as well because he started there, then went to Mandarin. So there's an alum of a couple of schools here in the Jacksonville area that's in the National Football League. So shout out to Menendez for coming off a victory tonight.
Nice win for Oakleaf tonight. Christopher Foy is their head coach as they beat Ed White, and Coach joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Coach, that's a good Ed White football team. You must be very pleased with your kids' performance tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you play Eddie White, man, you're going to get a good, physical, well-coached, competitive football game, and that's what we wanted. And so unfortunately it was homecoming. So we weren't looking for a homecoming game. We was looking for a tackle football game because we know we got some business to try and take care of next week.
Coach, tell us about how you guys were able to get this job done tonight.
Oh, the kids were resilient. I mean, they were tough, man. They got athletes all over the field, and once we settled in and just the conditioning and the strength, we stuck with it. The kids were so resilient, and they finished the job tonight.
Christopher Foy, the head coach of Oakleaf, winners tonight over Ed White. Year 2 for you at Oakleaf. Last year wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but you missed out on the postseason. Now here you are in year 2, 6-2, with wins over some really good programs. Well, you must be very pleased from year 1 to year 2, where you are as a coach, a staff, and where that program is in your second year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I won't have to thank my administration. I mean, coaching for Rodney is a blessing. I mean, because he knows what you're going through. Because the boss has been around the game as long as I have. But Coach, we have everything we need to succeed here, and I'm not stretching that by any imagination. And so this community, this school, this staff, I mean, and our kids, man, they do what we ask them to do, and it, so that's how we got it. It took a whole lot of people and a whole lot of hands in order to get where we are right now.
Coach, I believe that this is correct. You guys are undefeated at home this year.
Yes.
First of all, I mean, tell us about what the environment is like at those home games at Oakleaf.
Oh, man. Hey, they're insane, Coach. The nightmares are incredible. We had a great pep rally today, but Coach, they bring it. It is a tough place to play. Hey, last year, my first game, Coach, this is a true story. I was kind of starstruck. I thought my head was going to explode my first game here. It was incredible. I mean, the community comes out. The kids are incredible. And that student section, I'll put them up against anybody in the country.
It is quite the scene out there at Oakleaf, no question about that. When they have things rocking, they've had former NFL players out there, great college players out there. There's certainly a tradition being built out at Oakleaf. And, Coach, let's just talk about next week briefly. Boy, that's a big one, right? You and Mandarin in the district. That's what high school football is all about. A lot of implications with that game.
Yes, I mean, that's why we scheduled this game. Because, they're going to be physical. And they're going to be well coached. They got great athletes. I mean, we have to play Oakleaf football, and we have to do it together. And we can get it done. I think we can get it done. We structured our year for these 7 days.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Big win over Ed White tonight. A lot of confidence going into a huge game next week against the Mandarin Mustangs. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Coach.
Christopher Foy of Oakleaf. Justin Sermon of Christ Church is less than 2 minutes away. Before we go there, let's head down to St. Johns County. Let's get Colin Drafts, the head coach of Nease. They are winners tonight, and it's what they do on Friday nights at Nease High School this year. They have been terrific, and Coach joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me as always, and get to get another win and chat with you guys.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. 18 days off, right, with the storms and the bye week and, changing of schedules. I mean, I imagine your kids were kind of foaming at the mouth to get out there and play some football again.
I don't know if it was, more me or more of them, but, yeah, it's just been a strange, situation to deal with the weather. Like you said, it's been 2.5 weeks since we played that Buchholz game on a Monday night. So it was time, and we got out here and got it done.
Coach, I didn't talk to you after Buchholz. The fact that in 7 days you beat St. Augustine in overtime, you beat Gainesville Buchholz in overtime. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. And then you get 18 days off to kind of decompress. You turn around, you beat Atlantic Coast tonight. I mean, good grief, what a year you guys are having.
Yeah, it's been a great ride so far, and, that was a heck of a 2 weeks right there. Like you said, we had the comeback win to beat St. Aug in overtime, and then you had to play a Monday night game. And not only was it a Monday night game, we actually had 2 weather delays that Monday night. Didn't kick off until 8:45, and I think the last play of overtime was done at 11:45 p.m. When Shamar McNair picked off a pass and sealed the deal for us. So a heck of a 2 week run there. And then, yeah, it might have been a blessing we had the 2.5 weeks off. We did come out kind of sluggish tonight, especially on offense. It was 9-6 with about a minute left in the first half when we got the ball back and were able to march down the field and get a touchdown right before the half to make it 16-9, and then we outscored them in the second half, whatever it was, to win the game 44-12, and so got back to playing our brand of football. But yeah, it's a good win for us, and we're trying to just get the train back on the tracks and get in our normal routine and go from there.
Coach Drafts, always great to have you with us. You guys are 6-0. Question, are you more pleased with being 4-0 at home or 2-0 on the road?
I think I'm just pleased with the big wins that we've had. It's always great to win at home, but, the biggest – I forget who we've even been on the road against, to be honest with you. It seemed like such a long year. We've only played 6 games. Obviously, the St. Augustine win.
And then Creekside back in August.
Creekside on the road, right?
Yeah.
And that was week 2. I mean, it feels like years ago
right.
already.
Yeah.
So just the tight games, right? Those 2 games really showed me what our team is made of. And to be able to get those notches on the belt early with the overtime games and to pull out wins. And not only that, when you do it versus a St. Augustine and, of course, a Buchholz, it gives your boys a lot of confidence. And I know without a doubt, you guys know this too, that it's going to come down to something like that for us, probably in the playoffs. And we've been there and had that experience and can look back on that and draw from that.
Colin Drafts of Nease. Coach, final question. You guys and Bartram almost immediately, I guess on Monday, took advantage of the extra week that the FHSAA is giving teams because of the hurricanes. Not a lot of schools took advantage of it. You guys did. What went into that decision?
Yeah, when we looked at it, we had heard over the weekend that the FHSAA was thinking about doing that. So just in talks with their coach and both our ADs. We sat there and said, hey, if this does come down the pipe and they add a week, why not just push that back and not have to play 2 games in 1 week, And so we would have had to have played Bartram on Monday and then play this game, and then Bartram was going to have to play us on Monday, and then they played St. Augustine tonight. So we just felt in the interest of player safety and all things considered, why not take advantage of that buffer week that we have in Week 12 and go from there? And it worked out well for us tonight, obviously.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Big win for you and your program, and best of luck moving forward.
Absolutely appreciate you guys.
Colin Drafts of Nice, a winner tonight. Also a winner tonight, my buddy Justin Sermon, the head coach of Christ Church. They are winners over Eagles View, and Coach Sermon joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that, man. Good to get back in the win column.
Dominating performance, Coach. Dominating performance. You must be very pleased by your kids' effort tonight.
Yeah, it's been a weird season with the hurricanes and with schedules being affected, and so just really proud of our kids, of how we responded last week when we didn't play up to our capability. So good to get back in the win column, and got to get back to work on Monday, get ready for next week.
And to that point, and we talked about this, and for people that don't know, you played Providence last week, and that was a notch up in competition, right, where Providence is compared to where Christ Church is currently at the time. Yet that was only 14-0 at halftime, I believe, right? Or right around the end of the second quarter. I mean, for a half, you guys were right there. Was that encouraging for you?
Yeah, going back and watching tape, we did a lot of good things. And, obviously give Providence credit. They've got a good football team, got a good coaching staff. We've got the ball on our 10-yard line going in to score with about 50 seconds left in the half, and we put the ball on the ground, and Providence runs a 2-minute operation, and we blow a double move. And so that's a 14-point swing. What could have been, what should have been maybe 14-7 ended up being 21-0. So, our kids battled, and, good learning lesson, and we know that we still got some work to do, and that ultimately falls on me as the head football coach.
Coach, every time we speak to you, I feel like I mention this guy's name, but I want to mention it again because I want people to know that the running back at Christ Church Academy, Kyrie Wilson, is averaging over 200 yards rushing a game, Coach. I mean, that is pretty incredible stuff.
Man, Kyrie is a phenomenal football player, and I've said it before. He's one of those kids that you get the ball to, and he makes you look like a better coach than what you are. And so we're grateful he's on our team, and we don't have to prepare for him. But it really speaks to the volumes of our entire football team, of our offensive line, of our quarterback directing that, of our receivers. It really speaks to our entire football team. So thankful he's on our sideline.
Real quick, what makes him such a dynamic back? Is it like sprinter speed? What makes Kyrie such a special player?
He's got vision that you can't teach, and so he has a knack for big plays and making things happen. And sometimes those 2, 3, 4 yard gains in the first, second quarter, they turn into 10, 12 in the third and fourth quarter. And so it really just starts with our guys up front, and then Kyrie does a phenomenal job of making things happen. Sometimes you don't have enough count to get a hat on the hat. And, we trust Kyrie to be able to win some one-on-one matches, and he's able to do that.
Final moments, Justin Sermon, the head coach of Christ Church. They're now 7-1 on the year. All right, Coach, one more regular season game left, and then postseason play begins very soon after that. I would have to think, and you have to number crunch and decimal points and all that, but based on the record you guys have, it's got to be looking pretty good for seeding, right, in the postseason?
Yeah, waiting to see how things fall. Looking like we potentially could get a rematch there at Mount Dora Christian in the first round of the playoffs. So we'll see how things shake out. We've got to get back to work on Monday, got to get better on some things, get ready for Bronson, get ready for the playoffs. It's here. But so proud of our coaching staff, so proud of what Coach Hodge put together tonight on the defensive side of the ball. So thankful that he's on our staff. So thankful for all of our coaches and our operations team. That there's a lot that goes into making things happen, and so just thankful for all the guys and all the folks that are in our corner.
Every Saturday morning, little Hack asks me, Daddy, did CCA win? And I'll say tomorrow morning, yeah, as a matter of fact, they did. And they're now 7-1 on the year. Justin Sermon of Christ Church. Justin, congratulations, pal.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. Thanks for everything you do for high school football.
Really nice win for Christ Church. Right down the road from Christ Church, neighbors to Christ Church over there on Greenland Road, is the Mandarin Mustangs, and they were winners tonight over Fletcher. My buddy Toby Bullock joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, Hager.
Coach, defensive battle tonight against Fletcher. Take us through it. How'd the game go for you?
Well, our defense leads us, always will be the goal of Mandarin High School. We believe defense wins championships. Our defense has been electric this year. Fletcher did some really good things to keep some drives going, but the defense was able to ultimately stop the drives and, make them punt or get them to, turn over on downs, things like that. And then offensively, we got into the red zone a few times. We got in, I think, 4 times, and, a penalty here, a penalty there, took it away from us. But Fletcher's defense played, as well as I've seen them play this season. Not taking anything away from them. Their defense was excellent tonight, and they should be really proud of how they played.
Coach, tell us about some of your standout performers in this game tonight against Fletcher.
Offensively, the biggest one's probably got to be Deion Weinstein, one of our running backs, senior, and he had a big night. He ran really hard. The defense clinched the game, but he was able to run. We kept getting penalties. We got down the 2-yard line, ended up somehow 2 penalties later on the 30, and then he got us back down to 10, ended up on the 25 2 penalties later. And he kept running, basically just milking clock for us. He just ran so hard. He was the reason we got the touchdown we got as hard as he ran. The line played a lot better in the second half than they did in the first half. They really, sucked it up. We had to overcome some injuries tonight. We had a few guys not playing to begin with. And some guys stepped up. Some guys, weren't able to do as well as we'd hoped. And we'll get back on the board on Monday and try to get them to that next level of, greatness.
It's a big one next week for Mandarin against Oakleaf in that district. And, Coach, I know you, man. You're not going to use this as an excuse, but I'll point it out. You guys have had a lot of injuries this year. I mean, and injuries to really, really good players. And yet, despite that, you look at where you are and where you are record-wise. I mean, I would have to think that you're probably pretty pleased, right? Despite all the injuries you've had to be in the situation that you are right now.
Actually, no. I have a lot of faith in our kids and a lot of our kids. Offensively, myself and the offensive staff need to do a better job getting them ready to go and giving our defense a little bit more help. Overcoming it is great to get the win, but those guys are getting their opportunities because of the injuries, and I need to do a better job of getting them where they need to be to have more success, and that's just where we're at right now.
Coach, I want to ask you this because everybody, especially in Florida, has had to deal with this scheduling conflicts about the hurricane. I mean, you guys played 2 games in 4 days, Rockledge and First Coast. Now, both of those games were wins, but how have you guys dealt with the adversity of what the schedule's been the last few weeks?
We actually, if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, we're actually coming out on it on the good side for us. Fletcher and us had the same bye week. So if we're fortunate to make the playoffs, that extra week will be a second bye week for us. So the fact that we got through that tough sketch, but we have what we call an end of the season and playoff protocol that we go to with taking care of our kids and helping get their legs back and things like that. And we'll go into that mindset like we always do. And the prep and the coaches do a really good job of helping make that happen. And we just take a bigger role in making sure we're as close to what you see on professional and college level teams with our trainers and with our coaches and getting those legs and that rehab and those type of things back. It just becomes a big focus for us.
Toby Bullock of Mandarin. Coach, final question. Oakleaf next week, big district matchup. Tell us about it.
They're fantastic. They're having a good year. They seem to be rolling. I don't know what the Ultimate did against Ed White tonight, but the little bit I've been able to watch them, I know they went toe-to-toe with Bowles in a shootout and things like that. They're They're really good. They took some lumps last year, had a lot of kids coming back, and it's paying off. You know, I've been there 2022. We had a really young team and took our lumps, and then the next year we were able to make a run all the way to a state, runner-up. So they're a really good squad. We're going to be at their place. Oakleaf's tough to play at, and we'll give them everything we got and see if we can come out on top.
I got to ask you while we have you here, two of your former kids at Mandarin played for the New England Patriots last week, and we know DeMario is going to play on Sunday. We'll see about Terrell, who was called up off the practice squad. I mean, how?
I do believe he is traveling. So
oh, good.
That's good. The last I heard, he was traveling. So
I mean, how proud are you of those two young men to go from Mandarin to the National Football League together? I mean, that's awesome.
I wouldn't say proud. I would just say ecstatic, happy, excited for them. I'm proud of them whether they're in the NFL or not, as long as they are the men that I know they can be. So it's not proud. It's just so excited to see them have an opportunity and, one, honor their family, honor their friends, and then also in the end of the day, give a little bit back in the pub that Mandarin gets for them being there. But we just are so excited for them, and we just think it's the coolest thing ever.
Toby Bullock of Mandarin, winners tonight over Fletcher. They got a big one next week against Oakleaf. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Hack. I appreciate you guys.
There you go, Toby Bullock of Mandarin. Let's get one more in on this side, Gibby. The Bradford County Tornadoes with a big win tonight over Leon. Jamie Rogers is the head coach of Bradford County. He joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you. How you guys doing?
We're very good, Coach. Appreciate you calling in. And look, big win for you guys. Obviously, we haven't talked to you since the game last week, and I know that didn't go the way you wanted it to, clearly. But for your kids to respond in the fashion that they did and, quite frankly, put a number on your opponent tonight, you must have been very pleased.
Yeah, I mean, just good to get that taste out of our mouth. We haven't played as like we did last week. We just played uninspired, and all the credit goes to Newberry. They did a great job. They deserved to win. They outplayed us, but hadn't seen that much. So for them to come back and play like we're supposed to, they did a good job tonight.
Coach, you don't see too many losses on the column there for your football team over the last several years. I mean, obviously you guys responded the right way, but did you see the way these guys responded? Did they respond the way you wanted them to tonight?
Yeah, we got out and we did some things on the offensive side. We were able to get the ball to a number of people. Some things we worked on in practice. Was the thing that you always want to see on Friday nights is the preparation that you go through. And if the things that you're doing and you execute them on Friday night like they looked in practice, and tonight that happened, we were able to get a lot of people's touches like we practiced, and we wanted to move the ball around, spread it around a little bit, do some different things, and give some people some different looks on film. So they couldn't kind of tee off on what we're doing on offense. So I thought we did that really well tonight.
Jamie Rogers of Bradford County, winners tonight over Leon. Coach, 2 games to go in the regular season. Are you at the point now where you start looking at computer rankings and that sort of stuff, or are we still a little early for that?
Most people see where the chips, where we think they're going to fall, and nobody knows. It's the most secret formula ever, so we're not real sure exactly how the rankings are. We're trying to figure out it. I mean, does point differential, does that mean anything? How much is strength of schedule over win percentage? Like, we just don't know. And we have started looking and trying to see where we would be if we were the 1 or the 2 or 3 or whatever it may be. So yeah, we've definitely started looking and trying to plan some things.
2 games left, Santa Fe and NFEI before the postseason begins for the Bradford County Tornadoes. Jamie Rogers, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you, Hacker. Appreciate you guys.
Nice win.
Go Big Red.
Yeah, nice win for Bradford County. No question about that. All right, let's do a complete scoreboard update. We just got a ton of head coaches as all the games pretty much ended simultaneously. Back when we started over an hour ago, that's because Bishop Kenny was the first final of the night. Bishop Kenny over First Coast tonight, 31-6. Fleming Island, 51-24, winner over Parker tonight. It is a final. Bowles, 38-19 over Riverside. Menendez, 32-16 over Tocoi Creek. Baker County's a winner, 37-14 over Satellite. Nice 44-12 over Atlantic Coast, and Oakleaf 28-14 over Ed White. St. Augustine 48-21 over Bartram. Gibby was Ponte Vedra 35-6 over Orange Park. Clay 45-14 over Fernandina Beach. Mandarin 8-0 over Fletcher. And I'm still looking to see if we have a final in Creekside and Rains. I do not have a final on that yet. That game's got to be getting near a final. The last score we had was still Rains 22, Creekside 15.
Yeah, that's the last score we had, and that was in the third quarter. So you have to imagine that game has got to be gone final by now. You know, one of the scores that really stands out to me on the scoreboard tonight is Clay getting a big victory against Fernandina Beach. You know, it's not been the greatest of years for Clay and Coach Kennard, but they put up 45 points in the victory tonight over Fernandina Beach, the final being 45-14. Credit to Flagler Palm Coast. They got a victory tonight against Yulee, a pretty good game. In fact, probably one of the closer games of the night, 35-24 when you look at that one. And then you mentioned, Hack, Ponte Vedra over Orange Park. Ponte Vedra continues to play really well under Coach Price.
It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning with you for about another hour or so. We'll get the good Dr. Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist up. We'll get more Victoria's head coaches. We got to do a Gatorade Player of the Week. A lot more to do. Glad you're with us. Friday Night Lights rolls on with Andrew Gibson, the hacker Ryan Green with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Home of the Jaguars, WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. It's the ultimate tailgate. Someone's going to win a tailgate combo pack from Southern Steer Butcher.
Valued at $100.
And it could be you.
Monthly winners get a Corona tailgate tent with a cooler, chair, and
collectible football.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
When it comes to selling your home, it can be stressful. Take the stress out with my friends Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. How's this for a guarantee? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers, and if you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home. Take Kim in Palm Coast. I needed to move closer to family ASAP, but I had to sell my Palm Coast home first. I tried and failed with another agent. So my family said, you got to call Chad and Sandy. Well, sure enough, as promised, Chad and Sandy did it. They sold my home in 3 days, above asking price. Call the local Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Are spooky plumbing problems haunting your home this Halloween? Don't be scared. Call Duck Duck Rooter, your ghost-busting plumbing heroes.
Hi there, I'm Brian, your friendly plumber. Is your toilet making ghostly groans, or is your sink dripping like a vampire's fangs?
Don't let plumbing problems give you the heebie-jeebies. Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 and chase those spooky issues away.
Duck Duck Rooter, because even plumbing nightmares deserve a happy ending. Quacktastic service guaranteed.
Make your dream of living in luxury a reality in Lennar's newest 55 and up active adult community, Edenbrook at Highland Trail. Located in the heart of Green Cove Springs, Edenbrook offers world-class amenities with a dedicated activities director and homes starting in the high 300s, with rates as low as 3.99% and up to $50,000 in flex cash on our new Edenbrook homes. The time to buy is now. Call 904-643-3750 to find out more. Your life of luxury awaits in Edenbrook at Highland Trail by Lennar.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford.
In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think.
Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
A lot of fun under the Friday Night Lights. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning with Andrew Gibson, the hacker Ryan Green with you. A game that you heard on 92.5 FM earlier this evening was Bishop Kenny, a big win over First Coast. Tim Krause is the head coach of Bishop Kenny, and he joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Coach, 2 wins in 4 days, a come-from-behind thriller on Monday night, a dominating performance 96 hours later. Boy, what a week it's been for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. I don't think we've really had a routine week, really at all. I mean, we've had a lot of different issues throughout the year, and just really proud of how our kids adapted this week. How they responded, came out and played physical, I felt like, on both nights. And it was a good experience for us, and definitely a lot more fun to get 2 wins in a row.
Coach, always appreciate you jumping on with us. You guys started out 3-0, and then went to 3-3, and now you've won 2 in a row. Where do you feel like this team is right now?
No, I think we're an ascending football team right now. I really do. I think we're starting to play really good defense. I think we're back to playing really physical football. We were banged up for a little while. They were experiencing some injuries, over the course of the last couple of weeks. And so, the month of September was not great for us. But now I think we're back on a horse, and I'm excited to see how we keep going.
You mentioned how crazy the year has been with the storms. The FHSAA has extended things out a little bit, but it doesn't seem that that's going to affect you guys. I mean, the way it stands right now, I believe you've gotten all your games in. You got 2 games to go in the regular season, and then likely, I guess, a bye, right, heading into the playoffs. The FHSAA is doing you guys a solid there, correct?
Yeah, I think, I wish the way that was handled, I wish we had kind of known that a little bit earlier on. That may have changed and affected some scheduling. We got put we didn't really find that out until early afternoon. We were supposed to play on that Monday, so we kind of went ahead and played, and lucky enough to get a victory. So, we'll see. I think we've always debated whether or not you want to bye going into the playoffs. I think it'll be great for a team like us that has a lot of kids playing both ways. That the wear and tear of the season gets you a little bit. I think that'll put us in a spot to be fresh going into the playoffs.
Coach, we mentioned the scheduling and how everybody's had to deal with the Hurricanes. How do you feel like your team has responded to that kind of adversity?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch our kids. There's it's probably been harder on me, to be honest, because I think that's more. I'm a pretty routine person, and We've got, I feel like a good plan for how we handle practice and how we handle game weeks. And, when that gets thrown kind of up in the air, you got to work together with your staff and figure out a plan that works best for your kids. Our guys have done a great job of that and adapted, and I think our kids have done a really nice job of that. I think this year, regardless of how the rest of the season obviously turns out, I think as far as you're always trying to grow young men, and that life lesson is how do we adapt and change, and how do we respond when things are tough. And I think they've done both those things. They've adapted to all the stuff we've had to deal with the weather, and then they've shown now with the way that we've played these last couple of weeks that they can respond from kind of being back against it like we were earlier on.
Tim Krause of Bishop Kenny. Coach, final question. Has the number crunching began with you and your staff, the decimal points, or do you just kind of let that fall where it may and just take care of business on the field?
Yeah, I think it's hard to not, look at that stuff at least. And I think it's even harder to understand it sometimes, to be honest with you, with how the numbers kind of work out and the strength of schedule. I feel like we're in a good spot if we play well. And, it's kind of the good part for us, for our kids is like, we know straight away that like we've got to go out and win next week. And, we got to continue to play through the season. So that's one of the things I think the Max Prep ranks maybe helps you with a little bit is, we know that seeding is really important in the playoffs, and we want to try to work to earn ourselves a home playoff game. So, these next 2 weeks become really important.
And you will hear Bishop Kenny on 92.5 FM next Friday as they take on West Side. Tim Krause of Bishop Kenny. Coach, congratulations on a great week for your program.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
What a week, Gibby. Again, we were here Monday night. They score with like 7 seconds to go to beat Menendez. And then you turn around 4 days later, play a good First Coast team, beat them in dominating fashion. Great week for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and like Coach said, they're peaking at the right time as they get closer to the playoffs. And as I mentioned when I asked them the question, they started out 3-0, and then they lost 3 games in a row. And so you figure out, where are we? We're, we started 3-0, now we're a 500 team, and now they've won 2 ball games in a row. And Coach mentioned there at the end that they're finally getting healthy, and so that's going to benefit the Crusaders down the stretch here.
Let's go to St. Johns County. A big win again for Brian Braddock and the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets. They were winners over Bartram Trail tonight, and Coach joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Coach, it's always a big one when St. Aug and Bartram Trail get together. You guys got it done this year in a pretty big way, right? We had 48-21, I believe, is what we had. How did you guys go about doing that? That's an impressive victory.
Yeah, it was back and forth early on, and they're really hard to stop. And it's got tremendous players that score the ball a lot. And we were able to we just really played at a high level on offense tonight, and then we were able to force a few turnovers on defense, and then that kind of tilted the game in our favor. Then we're able to build a lead from that.
Coach Braddock, congratulations on the win tonight. You mentioned playing offense at a high level. You guys have done that the last several weeks, 56 against Clay, 48 tonight. What is it about this offense that's clicking right now?
Golly, I think tonight might have been our most complete game on offense. We ran the ball really, really well. Ironically, it's been so beautiful all week, but we played in rain for the majority of the game tonight, and in the second half, our offense was able to just kind of wear things down and run clock, chew up yardage running the ball. So that was really good to see. And just the throw game in the first half was just dynamic, big play after big play. So we're just blessed to have some really talented kids that work really hard, and our offensive coaches do a tremendous job, and they stay on top of those kids, don't let them get full of themselves. They really saw it pay off tonight.
Brian Braddock of St. Augustine, winners tonight over Bartram Trail. Coach, you and I spoke at the high school media day back on August the 1st, and obviously you knew this coming into the year. There was a lot of expectation on your team based on how great you guys were last season. And, man, you guys have, to me anyway, lived up to the expectation. You're 6-1. You've beat some really good teams along the way. You're in prime position for a really good seed in the postseason. 2 games to go in the regular season. I know there's a lot of work left, but are you happy? Are you pleased with where you are as we enter, late October, early November?
I guess content would be the word. Anytime you beat a quality team by several scores like tonight, win 2 games in 1 week, and we won the district earlier this week, you got to be happy for the kids and that success. I'm really proud. We've had 2 storms, and we played on a Wednesday, had a 19-day break, played on a Monday, and then played on a Friday. We've had all that happen since we kind of had a really rough second half in the Nice game. And, we might have played our best half of the year in the first half of that game because they're really, really good. And just our kids have just responded after kind of that heartbreaking loss. They've responded in a major way. And that's really what makes our group of seniors special. They're really talented, but it's their makeup that is the difference. There's a lot of talented groups of kids. I've had lots of talented classes of kids. But their makeup, they're just such tough-minded, such strong-willed, such great high-character kids. So I'm really just proud of how they've responded after that crushing loss. We got 2 more weeks to get better.
Coach, including the game tonight, you guys are 4-0 on the road this year. I mean, do you guys just embrace playing on the road, that 4-0 record? Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we love going on the road, especially in county and these rivalry games. We like it. We kind of, at St. Augustine, we've always kind of thought of it as maybe we don't always have everything that everybody in St. Johns County has. We're a different school, than a lot of the St. Johns County schools, and for better or for worse, we think that's our strength. And we think our diversity is our strength, and we love going and playing county games on the road. Our kids get excited for it, and it's a lot of fun.
Brian Braddock, St. Augustine, big winners tonight over Bartram Trail, now 6-1 on the year. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great weekend.
Nice win for St. Augustine. Gibby, was also a nice win for the Bowles Bulldogs. You heard the game right here on 1010 XL over a good Riverside football team. Matt Toblin is the head coach of Bowles. He joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. We were excited to get the win. That is a talented football team that is really well coached. So we were pumped about it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Riverside's beat some good football teams this year, and you guys go to the backyard, right, and get the victory, which is a very nice win.
Yeah, no, it's a great atmosphere. It's a unique setting, and it's a neat place to play. It was senior night, and the community came out. It was a neat game. It was a really neat Duval County game.
Coach, you guys had to match up tonight with one of the best, maybe the best receiver in the city, Tashawn Gelsey. How did you guys do against him?
Well, not so good. So I give credit to their coaches. Like, we tried to make everything hard. Like, we tried to run someone under him, take him away by alignment. They found ways to get him, and he runs such good routes. He's so big. He's so physical. I'm really proud of our kids really making him work. But he is a talented football player, and it's been fun to watch his development over the course of years. I mean, he has grown and developed as a receiver. As a sophomore versus to what he is right now, it's night and day. Like, he has gotten so much better over the course of his career.
Coach, it's interesting as I'm looking at your schedule here. You play my alma mater, Wolfson, next week, and I believe that is your final game of the regular season. And then you're essentially going to have, with the FHSAA's ruling in the schedule, are you basically going to have 21 days off before the postseason?
Yeah, so I'm the genius coach that decided that a bye right before the playoffs would be really good for my team. I'm also the genius coach that said, hey, there's a hurricane coming. Let's hurry up and play on a Tuesday so that we don't have to, jam all these games in at the end of the year. And the FSA went ahead and added a week to the season. And so we are currently, we're in a situation where there's 2 bye weeks to end the season. We're not sure what our options are. Because we lost the St. Aug game early in the year, we've only played 9 games. Finding a game, that makes sense for us and the opponent is really difficult, but that's something that we're going to explore as we go through. We know we have Wolfson next week, and we're not really sure what holds for us after that. Whether we play a game or we're practicing, our goal is every time we go out there, we're going to find a way to get better and we're going to compete. Whether it's versus an opponent or it's worth by ourselves. But we also need to use this to kind of get healthy. We're banged up, and we're going to get some guys back as we move to the playoffs. And so either way, I feel like we're going to find a way to make it work to our advantage.
Yeah, it's unique because, like you said, you played 3 games in 8 days, right? You guys probably need a break, but 21 days does seem like a lot when the next game you play will be the first round of the playoffs. So I just can never remember a situation like that. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It actually happened to us. So we we maybe 3 or 4 years ago ran in a situation where our senior night game was canceled and because of storms, and we found ourselves with this super long break kind of leading in the playoffs, and ended up playing Gadsden County was our first round playoff game after 20 days off, and we barely won the game, and so it is a unique scenario, and it's not one that you want. We feel like we're peaking right now. We're playing really good ball, and that we want to try to keep the momentum going. Unfortunately, we understand why the FSA did what they did, and we're gonna figure a way out to make it work for both.
But, Coach, it does feel like you guys can use that to your benefit because of the lot of guys that have been banged up for you. Do you feel like that time that you're going to be giving off is going to help you get some guys back?
It is. I mean, yes. I mean, that's the trade-off, right? I mean, do you want to, you have a team that plays – in COVID year, you had all those Miami teams that played less games. They were all healthier, but, did they play enough to improve?
Right.
And so, that's that fine line you want to be in. Yeah, we want to be healthy, but we need to go out there and test ourselves and improve. And so, the lucky thing for us is we have played an incredibly tough schedule and that we have had opportunities to improve throughout the year, and now we just need to the rest will be good for us as long as our kids handle it maturely. We're still out there practicing full speed, getting ourselves ready for a playoff opponent.
Matt Toblin of Bowles, winners tonight over Riverside. You'll hear Bowles and Wolfson next Friday right here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate Matt Toblin for joining us. All right, more under the Friday Night Lights coming up in just a moment. It's panic time for Florida State.
Is Brock Glenn back in?
Is that Glenn? Oh my gosh! All right, so
he threw a pick.
Well, and that's the game because it was holding on Florida State. So Florida State's going to lose to Duke for the first time in program history, it appears. Yeah, Brock Glenn was back in the game.
Wow.
Luke Kromenhawk had come in. Boy, what an interesting scenario. Duke 23-16 over Florida State. A minute to go. It appears Duke has just intercepted the ball. Even if it's not ruled an interception, it's about to be literally 3rd and 40 because of sacks and penalties. So, I mean, it might as well be a pick because you're facing a 3rd and 40 if that's not ruled an interception.
Mike Norvell looks dumbfounded.
They're gonna be 1-6, and they're lucky to have the 1.
I know.
They were lucky to beat Cal.
I saw this week there was a I guess USA Today posted the coaching salaries this week. Mike Norvell's a top 5 paid coach in the country.
Absolutely insane. So more on that, more high school coaches. The good doctor, Kevin Murphy, Southeast orthopedic specialist. He comes up as well. And I found our Gatorade player of the night.
Yes.
Wait till you hear this stat line coming out of Christ Church Academy tonight on their win over Eaglesview. And we'll do that on the other side with Casey Dobson and Andrew Gibson, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us. Again, all coaches tonight on courtesy of the Garber Auto Mall phone line. It is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Share your life with 1010XL. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, wait. I'm going to take a picture and post it on Facebook. What? Hashtag
1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Hacker here, and I can't believe it. 100 pounds gone. 6 months ago, I never would have dreamed this was possible. I'm going to say it again because it feels so good. I've dropped 100 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. To put that in perspective, I've taken roughly 10 inches off my waist. I'm down from a XXX to an XL, and I did it all in slightly over 6 months. It's not just about the number on the scale. It's also about getting my life back, playing with my son, and being more physically active. Now, we're celebrating big time. I'm hosting an exclusive football watch party to celebrate this huge milestone, and you'll have a chance to join me. Let's watch some football, eat some great food, and if you have questions about Awaken 180, ask me. Details to come, but don't wait on that. Call Awaken 180 today and learn how fast you can reach your goals. 844-346-1800 or online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations: Plana Vedra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Bueller Air & Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see. Hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air & Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Your musculoskeletal system carries the body, meaning that it maintains the structure against gravity. If you want your joints to stay healthy and seek the simplest solution, the best answer is to lose weight. Don't forget that the more weight you put onto your joints, the more pressure and stress there is on your hips and knees. This translates to more pain if you're already having issues. Losing weight is the quickest way to alleviate joint pain and boost your joint health. Go Jags.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Watch top local fighters in the Police Athletic League's Boxing Championships October 26th. Find out more at jaxpal.org.
Thousands of people in Duval County suffer from Alzheimer's. To join the Walk to End Alzheimer's at UNF November 9th, visit alz.org/Jacksonville Walk.
You can make a difference in the lives of people living with lung cancer. To join the American Lung Association at the Lung Force Walk at UNF November 16th, log on to lungforce.org/Jacksonville.
Pace Center for Young Teen Girls has been helping local girls realize and fulfill their individual potential year-round since 1985. To see how you can help change a young girl's life in your community, visit pacecenter.org.
City Rescue Mission provides life-changing support for the homeless. Find ways to get involved at crmjax.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you more Gator Chomps during the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL. Time now for the Gatorade Player of the Week. Gatorade, the world's #1 sports drink and the proven fuel of high school athletes. Nothing beats Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
So the Gatorade Player of the Week this week, and there were a lot of really good choices, but Gibby, you mentioned this player earlier. He's a sophomore running back at Christ Church Academy, Kyrie Wilson. Christchurch Academy beat Eaglesview tonight in a big, big way, a dominating win for the Eagles. Kyrie Wilson carried the ball 9 times. Only carried the ball 9 times for 175 yards and 4 touchdowns. Absolutely dominating. For a sophomore running back, Kyrie Wilson is a special player at Christchurch Academy.
He is. He's averaging over 200 yards per game, according to Max Preps this week. Going into tonight's game, Kyrie Wilson averaging 212 yards per game. Well, tonight he averaged 20 yards per carry in this contest. So, yeah, I think people in Jacksonville need to know that Christchurch running back, Kyrie Wilson, a phenomenal football player, 175, 4 touchdowns. He's our Gatorade Player of the Week.
Very, very good football player and an up-and-coming program over there at Christchurch Academy. All right, complete scoreboard update. Fleming Island over Parker, 51-24. Fleming very quietly going about their business, right? They had the coaching change right before the season started, but Fleming's put together a nice little season for themselves.
Yeah, they have, and they put up 51 tonight, and so credit to them. Like you said, a coaching change at the very beginning, and they've done a really, really good job. Coach Cipoletti's taken over the reins there and done a nice job. And like you said, quietly they're putting up a good football team this year and a good record as well.
Bishop Kenny, 31-6 over First Coast. It was Bowles, 38-19 over Riverside. Of course, you get the Bishop Kenny games on 92.5 FM. You get the Bowles games on 10:10 a.m. 2 really good wins tonight for Bowles and Bishop Kenny.
Yeah, and like Coach, the coaches have been saying that, for Bishop Kenny, they started 3-0. They lost 3 games in a row. And then now they've won 2 in a row. So Coach Krause believes that they are playing their best football and starting to get healthy. And then you look at Bowles. Bowles is a team that's been banged up all year long, much like a team like Mandarin. Bowles has lost, so many really good football players. Naeem Burrows, chief among those. And, they just continue to play good and good football. And Bowles is going to, like we were talking about a few minutes ago, that Coach Tolan was telling us that they're going to have like 21 days off here at the end of the season. How are they going to handle that?
Hilliard 54-35 over Interlochen. It was the Clay Blue Devils, 45-14 winners over Fernandina Beach. West Nassau a winner over Halifax Academy, 42-12. Mandarin, a defensive battle tonight. Mandarin gets it done over Fletcher, 8-0. You had, let's see, as we continue to go down the score, Ponte Vedra a winner over Orange Park. Oh, speaking of that, Ponte Vedra actually over Middleburg. Steve Price of Ponte Vedra joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations on another win for you and your ball club.
I appreciate it, Hacker. Thank you.
Coach, we've had you on pretty regularly, which means you're winning a lot of games. Again, another really good performance tonight, a nice win for your team. Talk about the performance of your kids.
It was really pretty, a gritty win. I thought Orange Park played really, they played really hard tonight, and we jumped out early on them. They did a great job of fighting back into it. Really came down and late in the third quarter, they drove it all the way down to the 5-yard line. It was 21-6 at that point. Our guys stiffened there, blocked the field goal. And we had really 2 nice drives to end the game. You just love that as a coach, where you know that you can, run the football and just kind of take the heart out of the other team. And our guys did that. Really a good win for us. I was proud of our guys. 2 games in a week is very difficult. And, I thought our guys did a great job.
And that was the point I was getting to. Middleburg on Monday, Orange Park tonight, 96 hours apart, and you guys get 2 victories. I mean, you can't control the weather, obviously. I'm curious, though, did you stick with that plan because that was the plan? Did you not want to take advantage of the FHSAA giving you guys the extra week?
Yeah, it was just I thought it came out, the decision came out a little late. We already had all of our, everything in motion, the booster club, the school, the stadium, everything was ready to go. And we thought, we're just going to run with it. And, we thought it wasn't necessarily a huge advantage for anybody that we played, that, we didn't think it gave Middleburg an advantage if we played or put it off, and didn't feel it was be hopefully we'll be able to be in the playoffs, and that extra week at the end of the season will be good.
Coach, tell me if I'm getting his name wrong, but Riker Kemp, is that correct?
Yeah, Riker played another great football game tonight. Now, he's been wearing number 51, but then that jersey got ripped off him a couple weeks ago, so he's wearing number 6 now, but he is really playing well.
Coach, he's got closing in on 10 sacks as a senior. I mean, tell us about the kind of year he's had.
He's played really well. He's so big and fast and quick and agile, and he's a tremendous football player. And I think he's gonna generate a lot of looks from colleges here this coming signing period.
Coach, 2 games to go in the regular season. You get Creekside and what is a big rivalry at the end of the year. IMG Academy White. Now explain that to us, because we know there's different football teams down at IMG Academy. What do we know about the team you're playing next week?
Well, IMG's got 3 teams. They've got the national team, and then they've got the IMG White team is I think they consider it their varsity high school team. They're currently they lost to Hawthorne tonight, 35-14. So they're currently 6-2. They finished last year 10-1 last year. They do play. They played Venice last year. They played Manatee this year. So they play a very competitive schedule. They actually have a third team, which is the IMG Blue team, which is I think they just added that this year. So it's the middle level team. Some really good football players on it. They got a great group of seniors. I think it's going to be a great test for us to drive all the way down there to Sarasota and play them. And, one of the reasons we did that is we kind of feel like there are times in the playoffs where you got to make a long trip and be able to play. And we're kind of using it as a dress rehearsal because we feel like we're going to be in the playoffs. So.
Well, I think that's a pretty safe bet. You guys have had a terrific year to this point. That'll be a fun trip for the guys and probably a precursor to what you might have to do, like you said, in the postseason. Steve Price of Ponte Vedra, a nice week, really, for the Sharks. Middleburg and Orange Park, 4 days apart. They get it done both Monday night and again here on Friday night. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thank you so much, Hacker.
Steve Price of Ponte Vedra. Let's get one more in on this side. Baker County, the Wildcats, winners tonight over Satellite. Kevin Mays is the head coach of Baker County. He joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Coach, you and I spoke earlier this week, and we talked at that point about this game, going down there, maybe getting some young guys in the game. Is that the way it went for you? Because on the scoreboard, it looks like you guys had a relatively easy time of it in the first half.
Yeah, it was. And, I always try to schedule a game like this just to get the kids prepared for a longer trip in case it comes up in the playoffs. But, yeah, we came down. Things kind of went our way. We got up 37-0 at half, and then, let the young kids that practice just as hard as everybody else, let them go out and have some fun in the second half. So it was a good trip for us.
Coach, a couple guys named Hudson are doing pretty good things for you. Hudson Register, Hudson Hodges. Tell us about both those kids.
Well, Hudson Register, he got thrown in the fire last year at quarterback and just kind of throw. So this year is the first time that he's actually had a chance to, let's just say, be coached as being the quarterback. And he had a good night tonight. He is a dual threat guy that is sneaky fast. He never looks fast to us, but he never gets caught. But as soon as you walk up to defend that on him, he can throw the ball on you, and he's starting to understand the football game real well. Hudson Hodges didn't play tonight. Got a little bit of a shoulder injury, but he's been, as a sophomore, our best receiver and one of our best players that we've got on offense right now.
Coach, we talked about that big win you guys had over Live Oak Suwannee in the district, and, you're celebrating the win tonight. I'm sure you're on your way back to a very happy Baker County High School. Now, I imagine you're going to turn the page pretty quick because it's a big one next week, right, against Wakulla?
Yep, we got Wakulla coming to town. I don't know what they did tonight, but they've got 2 losses too. Both of us, as far as rankings and stuff, are right there neck and neck with each other. And that game will go a long way, with rankings and seedings and maybe playing 1-2 games at home. So it'll be a game that we concentrate hard on. And we got out tonight without any injuries, and hopefully, like I said, got some guys to play and got our guys out tonight so we don't have any bumps and bruises headed into this week.
Wakulla was a 37-7 winner over South Walton tonight, Coach. And I guess my question is, have we started the number crunching and the analytics? I mean, do you know kind of where you guys stand, what a win would mean next week as far as playoff positioning, that sort of stuff?
I don't know if I'm in the minority or the majority. I don't look at that stuff a whole bunch because I can't do nothing about it. If we go out and win, I think we'll be in a good place. The only thing I am worried about is one of us is going to end up having to make a trip out to Bay County or Bay High School, which is out in Pensacola, which I get that's the system, but, they could be ranked 7 or 8, and, they are the district winner, and we could end up having to travel out there. So that's the only thing that's kind of on my mind just because it comes down to financials and that kind of stuff.
Coach, one final question from me. Seth Chestnut, the kind of year he's having, like 13 tackles a game, he's got a couple interceptions. I know he's a senior. What kind of looks is he getting from colleges? Is he getting some looks for you?
Yeah, he's been committed to FAU for a little while now. But he's still obviously looking and trying to play as much as he can. And, obviously all of them always hope that, whoever their dream school is comes in. So he plays every game as hard as he can. He's a great leader for us. He's you don't get to hear a whole bunch of it, but he's like a 3.95 student and, all around just great kid.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Big win for your program tonight. Obviously a big game next week with district implications. Best of luck against Wakulla.
All right, thank you, guys.
Kevin Mays of Baker County, winners tonight over Satellite. Let's get one more in on this side. Let's head out to Clay County. The Blue Devils were winners tonight. Kyle Kennard is the head coach of Clay. He joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, Coach, we always appreciate you. All right, nice offensive performance. 45 points is what we have in the victory over Fernandina Beach. You must have been very pleased.
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys for bouncing back. We had a tough game earlier this week versus St. Augustine, and, they bounced back and had a really good couple days of practice, and we were really focused going into the game. We limited turnovers. When we don't turn the ball over, sometimes what we like to do, we can play decent football.
Coach, how did you feel like your guys did bounce back from that game earlier in the week against St. Augustine?
We've had a good team meeting on the Tuesday afterwards and had a good discussion and talked about the things that we, that went wrong and the things that we can do better. And it all comes down to turning the football over. If we take care of the football and limit penalties and, the things we talked about, sometimes it's not a bad thing to punt the football. So, our guys we had a couple really good couple days of practice, and we were able to bounce back, get a good win tonight.
We've talked to a lot of schools, Duval County, St. Johns County, about how they've had to deal with all the hurricane stuff this year. Clay County, you guys are obviously in the same boat. How challenging has all this stuff been for you?
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because of the unknown. But, I think our kids, we've got a resilient bunch, and, they tell us when we go play the game, and that's what we do. So, it's been frustrating for everybody, I think, just talking to different coaches, but we're all going through this together, so, we got no excuses. So,
Coach, I believe his name is Lavaris Roberts. Tell us about him. He's over 100 yards rushing a game.
Yeah, he's a smaller back, but he's got great vision, and he's got really good speed. And when he gets out in the open field, he's tough to get down. He runs the ball hard. He's been really good for us all season. It's actually his first year playing running back, and he's done a really good job for us as a senior.
Kyle Kennard of Clay, they were winners tonight over Fernandina Beach. Lake City, Columbia next week, Coach. That's always a lot of fun when you guys get together.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Best of luck against Columbia next week.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Clay Blue Devils in the winners column tonight over Fernandina Beach. Whew, boy, we've been going since 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bishop Kenny was the first game to end out of the gate. We've gone an hour and 45 minutes strong. We'll come back, begin putting a wrap on the festivities tonight. We're going to give you a premier win of the night, brought to you by our friends at Premier Physical Therapy, Dr. Chris Kopp and the good folks over there at PremierPTJax.com. As always, all the coaches that appear on the show tonight are courtesy of the Garber Auto Mall phone line. One segment to go under the Friday Night Lights. We're glad you're with us. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, presented by Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning, right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
He's a master at recon. His car line takes you behind enemy lines on 1010XL.
What's your position?
That's top secret. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed is taking action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit, lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. That means this is the best chance in 2 years to do a cash-out refi and unlock all that equity at an amazing rate. Loan Pronto has fixed loans under 5% APR, the lowest in 2 years. You can get a fast refi and get $50,000 to $75,000, even $100,000 in cash. Use it to pay off all your credit cards, personal loans, car loans. You'll end up with one payment each month. And for most homeowners, they save over $850 every month. If you want to keep your original mortgage intact, ask about the Loan Pronto Express Equity Line of Credit. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. So call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This election, if you want someone who will take care of the messes, someone who isn't afraid to get dirty and work in the trenches, someone who will pump out the problems and prevent future ones, vote for the Duck.
Need your septic tank serviced? Call Duck Rooter, your 5-star Google-rated septic company. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com.
I approve this message.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford.
In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop. 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think.
Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Who's a winner?
Now, the Premier Physical Therapy Premier Win of the Night.
Well, there were a lot of options for the Premier Physical Therapy Premier Win of the Night. As always, thank you to Premier Physical Therapy, Dr. Chris Kopp. You can check him out, PremierPTJax.com. That's the place to take your athletes. 25 years experience, adults and children. Welcome, PremierPTJax.com. Dr. Chris Kopp over there at Premier Physical Therapy. Again, a lot of options tonight, but I'm going to give it to Oakleaf. Head coach Christopher Foy, Gibby, and Oakleaf, they were winners tonight over Ed White. Oakleaf very quietly going about their business at 6-2. Boy, they got a big district matchup next week against Mandarin, which has playoff implications. But a nice win for Oakleaf, and they are tonight's Premier PTJax.com Premier Win of the Night, brought to you by Premier Physical Therapy.
Yeah, I like it. It gets Oakleaf to a 6-2 record. They're 3-0 at home, and you heard Coach Foy, and if you didn't hear him, he said that playing at home at Oakleaf is one of the best, if not the best, in the country in high school football. He said he was blown away the first time he coached there as a head coach for the Knights. And, look, Ed White was a good football team coming in here tonight. They were 5-2 heading into this game, and Oakleaf gets a big win at home to keep their home record perfect at 3-0, and the final being 28-14 Oakleaf over Ed White.
Top 3 teams in the area. Rains did beat Creekside tonight. Nice did beat Atlantic Coast. And Bradford did beat Leon. How would you rate those 1 through 3 right now? Rains, Nice, Bradford. In what order are you putting them in? I
would say probably that order. Rains, Nice, Bradford. Look.
Could there be another team? Are we missing one? Or are those the 3, you think?
St. Augustine could probably.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got a loss. But
Nice by 1 point because they failed a 2-point conversion in overtime.
Right. Yeah, and Bowles is probably just outside, maybe outside that group, but not very far down. It's tough because there are a lot of really good teams. Bradford's got the 1 loss, but if you look at teams that have not lost a game yet this year, I mean it's almost 1A and 1B. If you talk about Rains and Nice could have an argument for being 1A. Rains could have the same argument too because both these teams are undefeated. And look, Rains held a really good Creekside offense down to – did we get a final on that one tonight for Rains?
Yeah, I had Rains winning pretty substantially, which was surprising because that's not what the scoreboard said. But a couple people texted me that Rains was a winner by 20+.
Yeah, and if the Rains defense held the Creekside offense down like we think that they did, credit to them because Creekside had scored 40-plus points like 4 or 5 games in a row. So – It's hard not to put Rains first, and you look at the teams that are just outside. Nice is right there with them.
As we put the finishing touches underneath the Friday Night Lights, it is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, and the good folks at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist have been with us on this program for a long time, and that includes the good doctor Kevin Murphy, who joins us just under the wire here on this Friday evening. Doc Murphy, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Acker. How are you, buddy?
Doc, we're good. Appreciate the time. I know it's late. We actually started early. We started right around 9 o'clock with Bishop Kenny was the first final of the night. Boy, a lot of good high school football. And, Doc, it was so nice to just have a normal Friday night, right? No weather issues, nothing. Just let these kids go out there and do what they love doing. It was finally nice to have that.
Yeah, weather plays a part in it. You get the wet fields and people get their their foot stuck in the mud, and there's a lot of knee injuries and things with that. So it was fortunate we didn't have that.
We'll talk about the bump and bruise clinics coming up in just a moment, Doc. I wanted to ask you, and I've been looking forward to asking you this all week. In the NFL, we ask you about hamstring injuries, but it's unbelievable this year, the amount of hamstring injuries. You look at the Jaguars alone with Evan Ingram, Tyson Campbell, and now Travis Etienne. I mean, every team has numerous hamstring injuries. I can never remember anything like it, and I've talked to Dave Campo and Leon Searcy about it, and they kind of blame the fact that the offseason, there really isn't a lot of football stuff, right? There's sprints, but there's not a lot of contact and OTAs and mini camps and even training camp. Is that your thought on it, Doc? Why do you think we're seeing so many hamstrings in the NFL this year?
These guys are athletes. They train all year round. I don't think you attribute to anything related to that. It's consequential. I don't think it's related to that. It's just a one-off, I believe. These guys train all year round, so it's not athletes that train like these guys do. It's not a training issue. I think it's just a consequential thing that there's more this year. But I agree with you. There's a lot of them, and they're a problem because hamstrings last forever. It's a problem. It's a 3-month injury, and it's hard to get over.
Yeah, Doc, Tyson Campbell missed 5 weeks, and he's supposed to be back on Sunday, barring a setback. And I wanted to ask you about probably the most gruesome injury we've seen in the NFL this year, Aiden Hutchinson, a tib-fib fracture, Doc. I mean, that was ugly.
Well, but the good thing, bones heal well. Bones predictably heal well. If as long as it doesn't pop through the skin and you get an infection, that the open fracture, barring that, it heals well predictably. The bone heals in 6 weeks. He's good to go. So he had it fixed. He should be really good without issues long term. So all things considered, better than a ligament injury, truly.
The good Dr. Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Doc, final question before we get to the bump and bruise clinics. I think I ask you this every year. We saw it again last night, and we even saw it with Aiden Hutchinson on Sunday. When you go out there and you assess injuries for a living and you know it's bad and you got to put the air cast on the leg, I mean, obviously the player knows it's bad. You got to try to keep him calm to tend to him and do what you need to do, but certainly that's a tough situation when you go out there and you can see the injury and you know that it's something that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it is. I mean, my situation is different. I've been through different things, having been through combat injury with this thing, having combat injury with amputations and blown limb issues. But yeah, certainly that's a big deal on the field. Players react to it, but you deal with it as a professional, and that one is honestly easier. You know what it is. Everybody knows what it is. So the doctor knew it's broken. He broke his tibia, broke his fibula. That's an easy one, truly, to diagnose and treat. So it's not a big deal for the physician on the field. You just treat it and move on. So that for the player, it's a problem because he knows he's got a big injury.
Hutchinson, just expounding on his injury, they sent him to emergency surgery. Explain to people why emergency surgery is necessary with something like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, if you put him on a plane with a fracture like that and send him back to, wherever he came from, he's at risk for getting infections. He's at risk for getting blood clots is the big issue. So that's a fix it right away. And the fix is a straightforward thing. That's a trauma fracture. That's an easy fix, truly for any orthopedic surgeon. That's an easy fix. So it's not a complicated thing. You put a femoral tibial nail down there, a rod down the middle of the bone, and you fix it. And that's pretty simple. But you don't want to put them on a plane with that and risk the infection of getting a blood clot.
The good Dr. Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. All right, Doc, the bump and bruise clinics tomorrow. We got 4 locations this year all around town. You can go to se-ortho.com to see where the location is nearest you. And these bump and bruise clinics are designed to bring players in, bring anyone in that needs any sort of treatment tomorrow so that they can beat the clock and start getting it taken care of before they return to school early next week.
Yeah, we'll get ahead of the injury. You don't want to sit around letting things swell up and be a problem come next week. So ideally we get you going quickly so you can get better and hopefully play next week, but if not, we'll diagnose it and get you as quickly as we can.
It is a terrific service, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Again, locations all around town. Go to se-ortho.com for the location nearest you for the good Dr. Kevin Murphy and the Bump and Bruise Clinics with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Doc, always appreciate you, brother. We'll do it again next week.
Thank you, boys.
Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. That'll just about wrap it up. We got about 2 minutes to go. Gibby, final thoughts on tonight's action?
Yeah, I think we definitely saw some blowouts tonight. I think that we've seen a little separation on some of the best teams in the area. You look at Raines, they're 6-0. The Bulls Bulldogs only have that one loss on their record. St. Augustine only has the one loss. The Nice Panthers are 6-0. So I think those handful of teams are really making a statement as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season. And it's a lot of good playoff positioning happening right now in the area.
Yeah, most teams only 2 games left. Some teams have 1 regular season game left. A handful have 3, but by and large, most have 2 games left in the regular season. And the playoffs will officially begin the week of November the 14th. And they will be a heck of a lot of fun. Casey Dobson was your producer. Gibby, enjoyed it, my friend. We'll do it again next Friday night.
How do you feel about the Gators tomorrow?
I like them. I like Florida. I like Florida, and I like the Jaguars.
Hopefully the Jags can get one. We'll see what happens.
Oh, brother.
If they don't, oof.
We all need it. Florida State needed it tonight, and they didn't get it. Duke won 23-16. More on that beginning Monday with all our local programming. Thank you to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for bringing in Friday Night Lights. We have been presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. I will talk to you on the 5th quarter, Sunday afternoon, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Patriots go final. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.